Hi and good evening and welcome to Tottenham Gold, the Guardians of Tottenham History. Tonight we're going to look at our new Brazilian signing, Richarlison. We're starting at about half now because his hand is coming on about 9. We'll go through his career from the very start right up to now. He's joining Spurs, and joining me tonight is Mark Cousins next to me, and I'm very, very pleased to have this gentleman on. Amir from his Open Peace podcast. It's an absolute honour to have you on, sir. How are you this evening?
I'm very well, Dermot. I'm very well, and just wishing everyone that's joining, a lovely evening, and hopefully we can discover, this new talent that we've got at the club. And I'm really excited. And I was kind of a little bit against the signing of Richie, so I'm delighted to be on tonight, Dermot and Mark.
Yeah. It's great to have you on here, Mark and Mia. Sorry, it really is. And next to me, well, how can I describe this gentleman? He's my sparring partner from last week. He has admitted to me during the week that he is a massive Maradona fan, but he was only saying that just for the sake of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mark. How are you this evening, Marky?
Very well, very well. Very well. I know it's lovely here. The sun is still out. It's been absolutely roasting.
Yeah, it's been sunny here in Ireland as well.
Yeah, it's going to get warmer apparently.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, Mark, Amir, before we get to you, Amir, about the question, just want to go through who we got in the chat. We've got Chris. Big up, Chris. Thank you very much for joining us. And Lazy A, a massive thank you goes out to this gentleman. He is a genius when it comes to thumbnails and when it comes to intros. He done an absolute brilliant job with our new intro for the channel, and he does a brilliant job with the thumbnails. Nick, I appreciate you so much. We all do on this channel. So for me and the gang, thank you so much indeed for all the work you do for us. And we've got Shawnee Boy, he's a little bit under the weather. So Sean, I hope you're keeping well, brother. I hope you're feeling better.
And feel good, Shawnee.
Yeah, and next week, pop on. We'd love to have you on here. And I love watching your shows. And please, everyone, get over to Spurs Talk Show and get them subscriptions in and become a Spurs Talk Show pony, because that's what I am anyway. So get over there and help Sean out. He's a brilliant lad with a brilliant channel. So big up, Shawnee. We have Timmy L. Big up, Timmy. Thank you for joining us. He says, Coys, TTG Legends. Yeah, well, you're the legend for joining us. So thank you so much indeed. And before we go any further, we have another legend joining us. She is the queen of the Harris Army. She is the queen of the Spurs community. She is the one. She is the only. Ellie.
Hello, Dermot. How you doing? I'm okay, thank you.
Great to have
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, well, this show won't be the same without you, Ellie. No. You are the queen of TG, so Tottenham
Thank you very much.
And we've got Lazy Late saying big up to Amir as well. Big up, Amir.
Cheers,
and I want to say special thank you also to our Patreon members, to Philip Brady, Izan, who's joining us at 9, Queen Ellie, who's also a Patreon member, and Mark as well. Please, everyone, thank you so much to you all. It does help the channel, and it really does. And if you want to become a channel patron member, like them for people, the link is there. It's $5.99 a month. You become a patron member of Tottenham Gold. You get to come on shows I've got planned for in the season, for watch-alongs, for your Spurs story, and also you get an exclusive mug as well, a Tottenham Gold mug with the emblem over the mug, so you can have your morning tea or coffee with Tottenham Gold, and we aim to keep you happy. So thank you to everyone. And we've got one more comment here. We've got a few. We've got Timmy saying Quieli.
We
have Kathy Prince saying hello. Good evening, Kathy. Thank you very much for joining us. And Timmy saying Ellie. Right.
I've got a fan.
Yeah, you have a big fan. Right, Amir. We would like you to be the deciding vote on this. Last week, we had a debate on Pele versus Maradona. It was a very heated debate. It was funny at times, but, me and Ellie are on the Maradona side. Mark and Izan were on the Pele side.
Oof.
We would like you to be the deciding vote on this,
Oh,
and why.
You are putting me in a real pickle there, Derma. It is
I
a
know.
real pickle. And you know what? I'm going to have to go against Derma and against the Queen. I can't believe it.
Okay, we forgive you. Anybody else, we wouldn't forgive them, but we forgive you.
We forgive you, Amir. Yeah, you're fine.
I'm gonna have to go with Pele. Maybe in terms of talent, Maradona maybe had a bit more raw talent, possibly, but the antics, the hand of God, it's too much. It's too much. I have to be on Mark and his
Mark.
side.
Yeah.
You're going to get a beer or two from Mark
now.
there.
Mark's very happy in the corner. He's getting a big head now. His head would be too big for the channel. Oh, good man. So that's debated then. That's gone down. Pele has won the debate from last week. So we had to get that sorted.
Yeah.
Sean says...
Sorry, Queen. Sorry.
That's all right. No worries.
Sean says, I'm good,
gotta
mate.
go
Just
with
got
your
a
heart.
roaring sore throat today. Looking forward to your show. Well, Sean, I hope you feel better, man. And as always, please, everyone get over to Spurs Talk Show and get your subscriptions. Hit that notification bell for really one of the best shows on YouTube.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
please, everyone get over there.
Yes.
Right, we're going to go through some news. As you probably all saw, that the Lads have landed in Korea for their pre-season tours.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in a minute. It's the players he's left behind. Now, Harry Winks, Reguilón, Lo Celso, and Mr. Burger King have Bjorn left at hospital way.
Yeah.
I'll start with you, Amir. Do you think that's the right decision by Conte to leave them players behind?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. The only one that I would kind of maybe consider bringing is Reguilón, because I think there's a real player in there. I just don't really know what's gone on between him and Conte. Has there been a kind of Barney, or I'm not really too sure what's gone on there. There's a player in there. It's just he can't really finish his dinner. He gets into all the great positions, and he doesn't finish his dinner. But the other three, 100%. I mean, we've got to move them on as quick as possible, really. And with the squad we're building and the players we're bringing in, with all due respect, Harry Winks is Tanguy. For their own careers, they need to move on. For their own careers.
Yeah. Great answer there. Mark, these players that like Winks and Lo Celso and Ndombele, where can they go? I mean, Tanguy went to Lyon for a season low. That hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
Nobody's come in for Harry Winks. And Lo Celso, I don't know if he's going back to Valencia or not. What would you do with them? Would you just cancel their contracts and saying just be done with it? Or is it too expensive to do that?
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, there's got to be a cut-off point, hasn't there, at some stage? Joe Rodon never went as well, but apparently he's ill.
Yeah.
He's ill, and the new French lad, he's not got clearance or something, or his papers never come through.
Yeah.
Longley. He couldn't go because he ain't got the clearance yet. But as far as the four you've got on there, just get rid of them somehow. Even if just take 5 million. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's obvious they're not wanted. Just get some money.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you've got Ndombele, £200,000 a week. That's nearly £1 million a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the best part of £1 million a week. If we can just take anything, just packet of crisps or something. Just to get his wages off. Just to get his wages off.
He'll eat them before they sell him.
Well, just get anything.
Tanguy go missing in training. Where is he? Oh, he's eating a bag of crisps around the corner.
A bag of crisps come in and he ate them.
Yeah. Ellie, Reguilón, are you surprised to see him on that list?
I'm really sad, but I can understand why. I'm sad because there was a player there out of the 4, he showed a lot of commitment when he first came.
Yeah.
And then he got the injury, and then he just couldn't get back to what he was. But even so, I still think we've got better replacements. So in a way, you have to say goodbye to him, because if we hadn't got Perisic, Longley, and we've still got Cess and Davis, we've got 4 there. So it's surplus to requirements at the end of the day. So we have to move him on. But I wish him well, the boy, because he was a little bit of a fan's favourite for a while.
Yeah.
And then he dropped off.
Yeah.
But the other 3, they can sling their hook.
Yeah.
3 bags of crisps in, give them all to Nod on Belly to eat.
Yeah.
And a pint of Guinness each. I mean, we bought. He's our record signing, Tonga. He's our record club signing. What went wrong? I mean, was it down to? Would you put it down to Hitcher not doing his due diligence, looking at him? Do you put it down to Levy? Do you know? Is it his fault for paying the money in the first place? Or do you think it's just Tottenham at the time didn't have the right scouting network? What would you put it down to? Why did we buy this player, record price for the club, and he's turned out to be a complete flop?
Combination of all of the things you just said, Dermot. All of the things you just said. Due diligence, I mean, 0 was done. Levy being, we say he's such a great businessman, and he's done this and he's done that, and he has done some good things for the club. We can't deny that. But with this guy, I mean, it's an absolute travesty that we paid that much money, and the kind of contract as well. The contract is it's ridiculous, and it's just upsetting, because you'd want your record signing to be someone that would come in and have a huge impact and really change the dynamic of the team and really push. But he didn't have the right mentality. And doesn't. So
yeah.
Is it, Mark, that he doesn't care, or is it just he's got this attitude? I'm getting all this money anyway, and I'm going to do what I want. And is it a French attitude? Do you think a French player attitude, or do you think it's just him?
Well, I don't think you can tar everyone with the same brush. I mean, you look at when we had Ginola. I mean, he was outstanding, and he was French.
Yeah. Reese.
Yeah.
We won't mention the Guna ones. We don't want to give them any airtime.
I'm laughing at them, thinking they're going to win the title. Their manager is comedy gold. I mean, he should actually go on the stand-up comedy night, because he's brilliant. Just keep him there.
No, but going back to Tongi, like I've seen many podcasts and they've been on about. Apparently, he's famous for this. At his previous clubs, he was lazy, he didn't want to do anything, and yet it was Poch that wanted him, wasn't it? Poch insisted on buying him, But it's obviously the scouts never sort of checked him out, what sort of personality he had. I mean, apparently he was famous for this, like not really caring, wandering about, doing nothing. There's an unbelievable player in there. Some of the things he's done, but they're just not very often.
Now, Ellie, from Kathy Prince here, he says this question, and I'll put it to you, and then I'll put it to the rest of you guys. We constantly pick up bargain players, and now we can't give them away. I mean, has this been years and years of just bad management on the transfer side?
Yeah, it has.
That we cannot pick a good player. And how long will it take Paratici to sort this out? Because if we've been like this for years, he seems to, at the moment, I think we've done a brilliant window so far.
Yeah.
But do you think there's more work that has to be put into it, Ellie, to really straighten that part of the team out, that part of the company out, if you know what I mean?
Put it this way, he's working on it because he's got this Scottish guy in from, I think, Rangers or Celtic, one of the two. Can't remember his name, but he's got him in, and he's got a really good track record of doing his due diligence on players.
Yeah,
not
he
just
used to do
not
with
just the stats. Yeah,
he used to do with the homegrown. He used to do with the. Ain't he an expert on like the British players?
Yeah,
but
he's a Rangers. I think he's a Rangers scout. We got
yeah,
him from Glasgow Rangers. So yeah,
that's it.
I think he was at Liverpool as well. I think.
Yeah, he
I'm
was
not
for.
sure on
I
that.
think he was there for 18 months.
Mm.
Now, this is steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
Plus, Paratici is very. He's got a lot of diligence. That man. He doesn't just go just for one player. He'll check them all out, weigh it all up, and then make his decision. Who is the best for Tottenham Hotspur? For money, mentality, physicality, what they can bring to the club. He does his homework, this man, right?
Yeah.
And look what he's done so far. I know he's made a few gaffes, but every scout does. He's brought us Romero. He's brought us Kulu. He's brought us Bentancur. He's got in Perisic. He's got in Basuma. All these players are going to make a big difference to how we challenge this season. So I can see a bright future, not just for this current Spurs team, but going forward with Paratici at the helm. Because also he's led by Conte. Conte knows who he wants and who he doesn't want. He would have done his due diligence because that guy is religious the way he scouts players as well. He'll go and watch them like Harry Redknapp did. He won't just leave it to Paratici. He'll take his word up to a point, but he'll want to check out the plan. As soon as he's got him, then he knows what he's going to do with that particular player.
Exactly, Ellie. That is actually spot on. And Amir, even Super Tottenham here. Amir, I'll let you answer this, Amir. It said, if we can't sell Ndombele, then remember he is still a Spurs player. The club will still have to work with him and work on his weaknesses, which is training hard. Watch this space. It can be the turning point. Do you agree with that? Or do you think that's it, it's gone now? He's a waste of space. We just need to get rid.
I'd love for Super Tottenham here to be right. I'd love to have faith in Ndombele, but he hasn't shown me anything that shows me that he's capable of that. If we look back at the Mourinho era, you know, when there was COVID and everything, and there was stories about how he's training hard and he's out with Mourinho breaking the rules and training and this and that, and I just think it's all nonsense, really. He hasn't shown enough for me, and I'd like to think that, you know, the guy can turn it around, because people can turn it around. People come back from you know, bad situations, but I'm just, if he had shown anything at Lyon, even, you know, I'd be like, oh well, maybe there's a possibility. But the fact that he just went around there and that guy's got to go. Simple as that.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. He's got to go. But big up Super Tottenham. Thank you for the comment.
Good
Absolutely.
question.
Thank you. Great question.
Yeah.
We all have, we know our feelings on Harry Winks. He just needs to go too. Lo Celso, what's your thoughts on him? Same, needs to go, get out, or would you, Amir, I'll start with you. Would you be happy with him to stay, or what's your thoughts on Lo Celso?
I'd like him gone as well, to be honest with you. I think he suits the Spanish league more. And I heard that there was kind of things in the dressing room that he wasn't really, you know, too involved with the lads and part of the whole team, and injuries and everything. There's definitely a very talented player in there. There's I've no doubt in his talent. But I just don't think he's suited to the Prem and to the pace and to the physicality. And yeah, I think he'll be going off to Spain, to be honest.
Yeah.
And also, who's left us is actually Stevie B, who left this comment here before he left to the Spurs fans. Let me take that off. Where is it? Now get that off. Take that off. He says, "Dear Spurs fans, thank you for all the great moments and memories. It was an honor to have been part of this beautiful club. All the best, Coys." Ellie, are you sad to see him go, Stevie B, or do you think it's the best thing for him?
I really do think it's the best for him, because he's one of those players. He's very frustrating. You never know what you're going to get. whether you're going to get a dynamic Bergwijn who's going to score a worldie, or you're going to get one that just falls flat on his face and doesn't cut the mustard.
Mm.
You know, he's too inconsistent. In the Premiership, you need players that turn up week in, week out, give 100%. And I just didn't see that from him, Dermot.
No.
If he'd given 80% even, you know, when he had his chance, that would have been better. And I know a lot of people say, oh, he never got played in the right position, therefore he couldn't flourish. But I don't care. If you're a footballer, you take up the position. And if it's an honour to play for Spurs, then it's an honour to play in any position in my book.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you pull on that shirt, you play for our club.
Yeah.
Amir, do you agree with
100%.
Ellie?
I agree with a lot of what the Queen just said, for sure, 100%. And I also think that there's a real player in there. There's a real beast in there. And there's a real beast in there. And I think that it is the right move for him. Going back to Holland, I reckon he's going to tear up the Dutch league next season. And to be honest, he'll probably tear up the World Cup as well. He's a top player. And he could learn Tanguy could learn something off Stevie for, you know, that message that he sent the fans. That to me means something, you know. I'd like to thank Stevie B for all the memories he's given us. And of course, who will forget against Leicester? You know, that was absolutely incredible.
Who would forget his debut against us against Man City?
Against City, yeah.
And who set him up? Lucas Moura.
Yeah.
Absolute
Marky,
cracker.
are you sad to see him go?
In a way, yes. In a way, yeah, definitely. But I think it's best for him. It's best for him. It's best for us. You know, because to be honest, he was always behind Harry Kane. He was never getting in front of him.
No.
So, you know, even with the 5 subs, and you know, we got like 60 games next year potentially, and all that. He never quite cut the mustard. I hope he goes to Ajax and rips it up.
Yeah. Can I add something? It's basically, I think, Bergwijn, it's like when the ball's passed to him, it's like it's a hot pancake and he doesn't quite control it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas when you pass the ball to Kulu, it sticks.
He stops it dead. Yeah, I see what you're saying there, Eddie. I see what you're saying.
You see, he's got such good close control, whereas Bergwijn, he just didn't have that extra bit to control the ball and then go forward, because the pace is blistering. We know this.
It really is. I want to say big up to Dave, who's in the chat. Big up, Dave. I watched a bit of the show earlier. Please, everyone, get over to the Irish Hotspur. I'll actually Stinky's stick, I should say, his link in the chat for everyone, so everyone to that's my nickname from Shawnee. I actually do like it. Let me stick that in there. And hang on, where's that gone? Where's the comments gone now? Right. And let me paste that.
I love you, Dermot, with your technical skills.
I'm useless, but I will stick the link in there for you, Dave, for later.
Like me. I ain't got a clue.
And then he calls me John. That actually comes from the story behind that. It's actually come from Shawnee started it, and it's sort of stuck. And I actually do like it, funnily enough. So big up, Dave, and thanks. And everyone, get over to the Irish Hotspur and the Flat Cup. Euro Flat Cup Flat Cap as well, and get your subscriptions and hit the bells there.
Yeah.
For a brilliant YouTube channel to pair them. And
fantastic.
And then Kuva99, my old sparring partner, Kuva.
I love Kuva.
Legend.
Kuva's a legend. And he done a brilliant job on the ball last night. Him and him and Benny Boy, absolute fantastic.
It was big. Yeah.
And he says, whatever you're a Richarlison fan or not, it's going to be fun watching him take his turn juggling all 4 trophies at the end of the season. You know what, Coop? I'm going to stick a 5 on the quad. I'll do that this week. I'm going to stick a 5 on the quad. Everyone, big up Cooper and be nice to him because he is a legend. That man is a legend of YouTube. And then Super Tottenham says, it's a shame we've sold Birdwing. Could have been a really decent player. I think he's a bit goal shy in front of goal, panics too much, and I think Conte's seen that and never played him off him.
Yeah.
Amir,
that's
do
it.
you think Conte was right not to play him a lot, or do you think he should have been given more of a chance?
You know, in an ideal season and an ideal world, yeah, you'd love for Stevie to have played way more and got way more of a chance. But we were scrapping for Champions League, and Conte, every decision Conte made, I'm with every decision. You know, so for me, with all the kind of a little bit of sadness in the fact that he's going. I think it's just the right move for both clubs, just to move it on, just to move him on, and you know, because a player of his abilities does not want to be sat on the bench unless, you know, you just don't care about football really, and you just want the money, you know, you want to be playing.
That's the other one we were talking about.
Yeah.
And there is the link for the Irish Hotspur. Please, everyone, get over to Dave. Hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and help him get to 8K before the season. Let's do that. It's over 7K now, but there's the link, and everyone, please hit that notification bell on the Irish Hotspur, the best channel in town. We've got another one here from Super Tottenham. Jose played Birmingham every week and never done the business. Hardly scored goals. I mean, that's the problem. And as you said before, he was too goal shy. But as Amir says, we thank him for Leicester. And we thank him for that. But big up Stevie B.
Not so much for Liverpool.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Stevie B, if you're watching.
If Stevie B's watching this, Ellie, I'd be absolutely gobsmacked.
Oh my God.
You put a comment in a minute.
Yeah, it probably will actually. Somebody will probably do that, pretend to be him. Izan is coming on in a minute with all the stats for the Richarlison.
Yes, looking forward to that.
Well, that's the end of the Tottenham news for all the goings on the last few days at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Now,
just one thing.
Hang on, we're going to talk about this gentleman. How does this picture make you feel? Amir, I'll start with you. Seeing Romero, Richarlison, Moura in the background. You can see Fraser Foster there. How does that make you excited for the season coming up?
Do you know what? That is just the definition of open peace, isn't it? That is the definition. I love it. I absolutely love it. And to see those two guys like that, fantastic. Fantastic.
It is. Ellie?
It's always good to see two gorgeous men hugging. I'd say that on a woman's perspective. But I liked Brian Daigle's
Ellie,
take on it.
This is not that type of show. We can do that type of show if you want another time, but tonight's not that type of show.
I'll keep it clean. I liked Brian Daigle's take on it, where he said, "Friends from between us." I had to say that again.
Marky, how does that picture make you feel? And look at Fraser Foster in the background.
Yeah,
he looks really shocked, doesn't he? He doesn't know where to put himself.
If you watch the video that this is a still photo from, before it, there's a few more players come in. I think Sanchez comes in and sort of shakes his hand and all that. And right at the end is when Romero comes in, and the whole room, because there must be 15 players in there, they all cheer. It's obviously to do with when he hacked him down when we played Everton. They all cheer and they're all laughing. And he goes straight up to him and gives him a big hug. And they're still, and even after that photo, they're still all laughing and going about it, because Richarlison sits down again and Moura says something to him. I think it might be in Spanish.
Yeah.
And they're laughing about it. So it must be like, you remember when he kicked you up in the air?
And also, Ellie, this is for you and me, because we can slightly remember this.
Of course.
44 years ago today,
I was going to say this.
The two best Argentinians in the world.
Oh my God.
We signed Ricky Villa and Ozzy Idelis 44 years ago today.
Yeah, we did.
You know, and
Magic. What a day.
what a
that
day. I
was.
mean, what a time. And look at
Yeah.
that. Catty Principes, yes, Ellie, yes.
I made
So-
all that ticket tape for that. And do you know what? There's quite a big rivalry between Brazil and Argentina, isn't
There
there?
is.
Very big.
There
Big
is
time.
a big
There is.
rivalry. So I'm thinking that Romero, back in his mind, he's saying, I won't get you on the pitch because you're on my side, but I can get you on the training ground.
He's probably thinking, you wait to Argentina. But I watched an Argentinian Brazil game before, and by Jesus, they
Yeah.
don't go easy on one another there.
No,
they don't. There's like a general, not a hatred, but it's very competitive.
It is. I mean, you go over the years. I mean, they met in the '82 World Cup where Brazil beat them 3-1. I think Maradona got sent off by putting his boot in one of the Brazilians' private
more
parts.
cheating, more cheating, no doubt.
Look. Maradona was a good player. He didn't cheat. He didn't handle the ball in the net. Mark. It came off
Hit
his hair.
shoulder.
You know, even VAR works.
Hello.
Ali's just
Sorry.
got
that was the ghost of Maradona that done that.
that was his hand of God.
Yeah. Knocked the phone off.
We've got Dave here saying, big up, Dave. He says, Richarlison excites me. He does me. I'm so excited about it. It's like we're getting a South American feel about the team.
Yes.
You know, we've got Mora, we've got Richarlison.
Yeah.
We've got
Romero.
Bentancur, who's from Europe.
Royale.
Yeah.
Royale
from Brazil.
For me, I've just seen what Dave's put next.
Richarlison excites me.
I'm sorry, it's the best thing I've seen all day. You've got Bentancur, you've got Romero. Do you know, it's like you've got the South American flair up front, and you've got the South American defensive beasts in the midfield and in the defense.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to be so. And apparently, this is breaking news.
Right.
Richarlison and Romero have been seen wrestling bears in Korea. And Super Tottenham's asking who won. I think Richarlison and Romero won. I think by points.
Yeah.
I tell you one thing. That's
They're
the best
cooking
thing
the
I've
bear
seen.
up now for dinner.
Do you know what? I'm starring that, Dave. That's the star comment of the show.
Yeah.
That really is the star comment of the show.
They hit him with a chair.
Amir, do you think it's right? Do you think South American football has bring something different to the Premier League? And do you think with Romero, Bentancur, Richarlison, Mora, do you think we're going to have something different that we'll be able to open up teams more easily now than we were last season?
100%, 100%. I mean, I'm loving the South American flair in our team at the moment, and I think it can only do well for the unity in the squad as well.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that they've got teammates from their national sides there, and they can speak the first language. You know, it's important that they get the English as well, but it's also important to feel confident in to have someone to, you know, say the odd word in Spanish or Portuguese, or you know. So it's fantastic, and you know, I'm really behind the Richarlison signing now that I saw his interview on the official channel. I see how hungry this lad is to play, to be in the Champions League. And he's going to be fighting Kane and Sonny and Kulu for the position, you know, big time, which I think is something we've never really had in the attack for a very long time, since, you know, the Defoe, Keane and Crouch and that kind of era.
Berbatov
as well. Berbatov, that's when we had serious competition there. So,
Mark, you, me and Ellie have seen Tottenham back in the 80s. We've seen brilliant players come and go. I'll start with you, Mark, on this, and then go to you, Ellie.
Yeah.
Does this remind you of anyone's of them glorious past? Do you know the team you've got now? Do you see the maker? I mean, for me, I haven't been this excited since the 80s. Since probably Birkenshaw's teams, when we had like Archibald and Crooks. Graham Roberts was brought in, Paul Miller. You had the likes of Perriman, you had Hoddle.
Yeah.
And then when we
Quality.
bought Waddle as well, Hoddle and
Yeah.
Waddle in the same team.
Yeah.
Are you getting excited that we're going back? We've sort of gone back to our roots of how Tottenham should play.
Yeah. Well, for once, and this is the first time for years and years and years. How many sites? Is it 5 now we've made? Before, and there's still, is it 50 something days left of the transfer window? That's unheard of. I mean, normally the season starts, we've still signed no one, and then the last day we scratch about and get 2 people we've never heard of.
Yes.
You know, that's
Probably
normal.
from the
You
local
have to Google
supermarket.
very quickly.
Yeah, do a Danny Rose. You've got to do a Danny Rose.
Hitchin probably was in his office saying to Levy, hang on, I know 2 blokes work down in Sainsbury's, right? Apparently they're very good in the Sunday league. We can get them 2 for cheap.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, we're still not finished. Still, even if we get that Jed Spence, I'm still worried about him because he's not proven. I honestly think Jed Spence might be a cover for somebody else. You know, that's why it's taking weeks on end. You know, because what was it? They want 20 million. I mean, if we wanted him that badly, we'd have just paid it. We've got him in by now.
You're right.
You know,
Ellie with Richarlison now coming in. Who does he remind you of? The Tottenham 80 side. He reminds me a little bit of Archibald, that sort of, or Graf Cook type player. Does he get the same vibe of you, or who does he remind you of?
He reminds me of Robbie Keane as well, you know, because
there is a bit of that actually.
Yeah, because you know what it is. He's very skillful, technically brilliant, and he scores some brilliant goals. I was watching him on the highlight reel. I watched quite a few of Richarlison's highlight reel, but I used to watch him as well. Like, so, you know, every time they were live on television, I would tune into Everton because I've got a little soft spot for Everton, to tell you the truth. I like the club. I like their ethos, so I always watch out for their players. And we've had a very good relationship with that club as well down the years.
Yeah,
you know, so and even they like Levy to sit down with their chairman and have a little chin wag and a £10 million off deal.
Did you see Levy coming out of the plane today, meeting Son at the airport? You know, Son just about shook his hand, saw Conte and got all excited. You know,
I know. It's nice to see that at the club.
It is. We do apologise. We are still waiting for Nizan because Nizan's got the stats. He says he's on his way, so he should be here in a few minutes. But I've got some stats as well about Richarlison, but I'll get through some of these comments first. Yeah. And I'll start with you, Amir. Kathy Prince says this is how Conte unlocks the low block. Do you agree with her?
Oh yeah. I think what he's focusing on in this window is how to unlock the low block and the strengthening at the back, which we know that we needed as well. And that's why I think we've gone for the players that we've gone, including Bissouma and Lenglet and who knows, Spence or someone else. And I really think that we're bringing home silverware this season. Yes, we are. And you know, who knows? We could see what Kuva was saying, Richarlison juggling those trophies in the air, because that's what I would love to see. If we came and did like a double or a triple or something crazy,
I've never seen it.
I know Dave said that if we win the league, he'll go missing for the week. I think I'll be joining them somewhere. I mean,
I'll be on the first flight back to London to be with you guys. Honestly,
down Tottenham High Road.
Oh yeah,
Magic.
Thank you so much for your comments. I'm pleased, they're brilliant. So please keep them comments. Lovely to have you here. Kuva saying at the Irish Hotspur, I'm excited about Richarlison too. I won't say I'm pitching a tent though. It's more like a field mouse.
He cracks us up every time.
I could just imagine Cooper chasing the field mouse. Hey, hold my umbrella. Big up, Cooper. Big up, man. We got the Pride of Gothenburg. Will this season's visit to the Emirates be a win? Because I think so. Right, start with you, Mark.
Yeah.
Will it be a win this year when we go to the Emirates?
Well, the state that they're in at the moment, you'd like to think so. You know, I mean, even when we were rubbish and they were quite good, I'm not saying they were good, but like we always seem to get a draw there. It's either a draw or we lose. I think the last we won there, is it? What's his name? It was under Harry Redknapp, wasn't it? We won 3-2.
Oh,
we beat them in the League Cup as well.
Is that when Kabul scored the winner?
Win. Who?
Yeah, the last.
Is that when Kabul scored the winner?
Kabul.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, the header.
Yeah, we were 2-0 down at half time.
We were 2-0.
Yeah. Oh,
that was one of my favourite moments ever.
Yeah.
That was one. I think
that was on Sky the other night. That match, that game.
That was Van der Vaart as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I love Van der Vaart when he went. Shh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
We need a bit of shithousery like that.
Definitely.
I watched it the other night and we went 2-0 down and I'm thinking, oh, Jesus, I forgot the game it was. I thought, oh, geez, we're going to lose it. And then I remembered it was when we came back. They done that game to a Rocky music. Do you know the Rocky music?
Yeah.
When he's in the ring and they have that. They actually done that game to that theme tune. And it's the best brilliant bit of videoing I've seen. It's just absolutely brilliant.
I know.
I've
seen that one as well.
And God, I miss Harry Redknapp's time at Spurs. He was a good man.
It was a brilliant time.
I like Harry Redknapp when he used to push the players away when they come towards him to celebrate. He's going, get back on the pitch.
I tell you one thing though, Harry Redknapp will always be the man that took us to the Champions League first.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever take that away from him.
No.
Peter Crouch's header against Man City.
What a beautiful.
And the highlight of that night is watching David Bentley in his boxer shorts pouring water over Harry Redknapp while he was doing an interview. Before we get on with the rest of the comments, hello, Izan. What time?
Hey, Dermot.
What time do you call this?
It's Canadian time.
Yeah, it's Canadian time.
Is this Ezan's been partying too much? That's his problem. He's burning the candles. How are you, man?
You had a haircut.
Yeah, I did.
How are you, Izan? How are you anyway, sir?
Doing pretty well.
I was joking with you about the time, by the way.
So. Yeah, it's all right. I should have came a bit earlier. Sorry about that.
You're grand, sir.
But yeah.
Thoughts on the players left at home very quickly? Are you surprised?
Yeah, so the players were Winks, Region, and Ndombele, and Lo Celso, correct? Those four were left at home. Yeah, I guess Conte doesn't want them at the club anymore. That seems pretty obvious. And to be honest, they really should go based on their performances for us. Yeah. So there's not much to say. If the sooner we get rid of them, I guess, the better. Get some incoming, like some transfer incomings that we could maybe repurpose elsewhere.
Yeah.
Right, we'll get through these comments and then we'll get on with your Richarlison link, your statue done from Richarlison. Izan, I know you've got a lot of work
in player profile, I guess, like his journey throughout his career, I guess. You can see what he's all about.
Yeah, so we're all going to look forward to that. We've got Super Tottenham here says Denzel Dumfries for right wing back, 5 goals, 5 assists last season. Tottenham need to go for him, ready-made player.
No.
I would star that. We'll actually come back to that, but I would agree.
No, he's not leaving. He's not leaving.
No. Kathy Prince says they want a ton of bonuses for Spence, bonuses for his first Premier League game, bonuses for his first Champions League game, bonuses at 20 games, bonuses at 50 games. Are we over it yet? For fuck's sake, just keep them. I think Daniel Levy now is walking down for Nottingham and thinking, right, that's a dead horse. So I don't know if Spence will be joining us or not after that. And then lastly but least, Carl Simpson. Big up, Carl. Thank you for joining us this evening, guys. Hope you're all well. Yeah, we're all smoking fine. We're all happy here. Right, Izan, it's over to you, sir.
Right. Let me just share it real quick.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about the Spence, just before Izan gets all the stuff up, is I did hear something about potentially maybe Parrott going over there to get a bit of experience, being loaned out, and then maybe Spence. Could that be a decent deal for us if we get the bonuses and whatnot down?
I think so, Amir. I think it'd be good for Parrott as well. I think it would give Parrott an experience in the Premier League, but in a lesser team, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'd be quite happy with that actually. I think Parrott needs Premier League experience.
No. They're on about sending him to Middlesbrough.
Yeah, to Middlesbrough, yeah.
Oh, Middlesbrough. I thought you meant Forest, sorry.
No, because Spence ain't a Forest player.
No, that's sorry. Yeah.
He's a Middlesbrough player.
Yeah. I forgot about that, yeah.
And Parrott's at that stage, you know, that the performances he had for Ireland recently, incredible.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Parrott's been brilliant for us. I mean, we and Dave went to the game, me, Dave, Ollie, and the Godfather.
Philip
Brady. We went to the game when we played Ukraine.
Nice.
He didn't play that day. Surprisingly, we were all disappointed because we all wanted to watch Parrott. But for the performance he's been putting into over the summer for us, for our national team, has been absolutely brilliant. Can't praise him enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be happy with that, Amir. I really would. That's a very good question, actually. I would be happy for him to go to Middlesbrough and get some experience and because Middlesbrough are the next step up really in the Championship. So get that experience, and you know, I think Parrott will come good. I just think he's a late developer.
He's growing up, isn't he? He's growing up.
Yeah. And is it really a late developer when we think that Kane, was he on loan in League One when he was 19? You know?
Yeah.
So you can never know. People develop at these different rates. Not everyone is a Wayne Rooney or an Owen who just break through very, very young. Some it takes that little bit longer, and that the development and the confidence, and you know, so there's a real player in there for sure. And he needs that experience in a lower league to really build up his skills.
And you got to think, Middlesbrough probably will be challenging at the top end of that table.
They will.
Because
they just missed out, really, didn't they?
Yeah.
They could with a bit of a stronger first half of the season, they would have been there. Yeah.
Super Tottenham, we will come back to that after Izan's done his Richarlison bit. I will come back to that. That's a great question. And Carl Simpson saying that I would imagine all these ridiculous bonuses for Spence is down to Levy and Gibson not having the best relationship. Again, we will come back to that. They're rubbing him up the wrong way. We will come back to that later in the show. Are you ready, Izan, to do your...
Yeah.
Looking forward to this.
Right, so am I, actually.
Me too.
All right. Yeah, so basically, I'll just tell you guys what it's about. So, sort of, I went through his career, starting from Brazil, to see like what he's all about, what he's achieved and whatnot, and how he built himself up to what he is now. Sort of how he made his name, his journey as a professional footballer. So I guess we'll start the second slide. Okay, here we go. So he made his professional debut at America Mineiro. When I was actually doing research for this, I looked up the club, and they're actually a really interesting club. So they're 112 years old, and throughout their entire history, they have kept their club crest and their colors and their name the exact same. It has never changed, and they're one of the only clubs in the world that's over 100 years old to never change their club logo or anything like that, or their name at all. which is pretty interesting. There's also a section about them protesting professionalism in football, like massive player salaries and whatnot. But yeah, we can get into that later. But they are a very interesting club, to say the least. So he made his first team debut in 2015. That was at the age of 18, I believe, for Richarlison, and he nearly gave up on football after spending all his savings on a one-way bus ticket to Belo Horizonte for his trial. So it was basically all or nothing. If he did not get selected, he would give up on football right then and there, and he had no means of getting back. So I'm not sure what his plan was by spending all his money on on the bus ticket there if he didn't get in. So in his first season, he got Mineiro promoted to Brazil's Serie A, from Serie B to Serie A in 2015. And after having a pretty good season as an 18-year-old, he transferred to Fluminense in December of 2015.
So I've got his stats here. His appearance record for his first team. He made 24 appearances that year and scored 9 goals for Marino for that year.
Yeah, in the Serie B, yeah,
in Serie B.
And then as an 18-year-old winger. So if the stats don't seem that impressive, he was primarily a winger at this stage of his career. So in Fluminense, he became a breakout star immediately by scoring a hat trick on debut. And he was age 19 at this point and was considered a top player for them. He scored 8 goals in 12 matches in the Campeonato Carioca. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's basically like the FA Cup in Brazil. Yeah. That's the best explanation I can give you. 8 goals in 12 matches. Was considered a really top prospect in South America. Not like the next Neymar type prospect, but a good comparison I can give you is someone like Rodrigo in Real Madrid now. He was considered that level of talent, and he made the Campeonato Carioca 2017 best 11 after his performances. I believe Fluminense, they finished runners-up in the tournament. They made the final, but unfortunately couldn't go all the way. He played.
You'll fit in well with us then. If you make
another thing to consider was that Fluminense were not favorites at all to finish in the final. I believe in the league they finished 14th that season. Yeah. So it was mainly his big game performances which got them all the way to where they were. And I think that's a trend we'll notice as we go along, where he really turns up for big games.
That's what we need, isn't it, Izan? We need somebody to do that, isn't it? We need that sort of player. And then he went to Watford then.
Yeah. After 2 seasons at Fluminense, he signed for Watford, age 19. So obviously they took a punt on him. So he signed for £11 million in the summer window of 2017. And to be honest, that's a really risky move, especially for a club like Watford. £11 million is quite a lot of money for them. And to spend it on a teenager from Brazil who has only played 2 seasons in the top division, because before he was playing in the Serie B, only 2 seasons, and to spend £11 million on a child basically is quite risky business, but it paid off almost immediately because he scored in his second ever game. And he played a huge part in Watford staying up that season and finishing 14th, which by their standards is quite excellent work. So he scored 5 goals. Yeah, scored 5 goals in the Premier League. Like I said, not the greatest goal output, but he was a winger. He was exclusively a winger at this point. He only played striker when he joined Everton, and he played all 38 games for Watford that season in the Premier League at age 19. And I believe he was also the only player in the Watford squad to play all 38 games. So he was clearly their best player, age 19 in the Premier League. So immediately he got off to a great start. So, you guys have any thoughts so far? I know I've just been rambling, sort of.
No, I'm loving the breakdown, Izhan. I'm loving this breakdown.
Izhan. Absolutely, carry on, sir.
Fantastic.
I like the reasoning behind Watford getting him as well, and I like the fact that he played all 38 games for them. Yeah. It shows that even though he's a winger and he's a tricky winger, he probably got hacked down a lot, but he can recover. Which is a good thing that he's strong. He's strong physically. He looks strong physically as well, just looking at him. You know?
Yeah. Do you think, Izhan, how big of a gamble it was for Watford to buy a player from South America? I mean, it was a big gamble for them, wasn't it?
Big gamble.
Yeah. Well, they obviously got good scouts, haven't they?
And 11 million pounds is a lot of money to play out. You know, is South America? You know, for a South American football, I mean, there's a lot of Brazilians have come over to the Premier League. Izhan, do you think he's been one of the more successful ones to come over to the Premier League?
Yeah, definitely. There have been successful Brazilians. You know, Gabriel Jesus, Fernandinho. Who I guess those are the 2 examples I can think of off the top of my head.
Fabinho.
Fabinho as well. But usually a lot of those have experience in Europe. First, Fabinho obviously was excellent for Monaco. But we see here, and obviously they were a bit older. I believe Fernandinho was 28 when he joined Man City, and Gabriel Jesus was 21 or 22 when he joined Man City. So for a 19-year-old, it's really impressive.
And Thiago at Liverpool's Brazilian as well, isn't he? Thiago Alcantara.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, he's Brazilian.
Yeah, and Bobby Firmino as well.
I love that player.
Yeah, Firmino. But with Firmino, he was obviously excellent in the Bundesliga before signing for Liverpool. So for a club like Watford to take a punt on a 19-year-old kid from Brazil was quite excellent work, because in hindsight, obviously it worked out, but at the time, as a Watford fan, you'd probably be asking yourself, like, what the hell is this? Like, why are we buying this guy, right? Especially when you're you're most likely going to be in a relegation battle. You can't be relying on 19-year-old unknown quantities from Brazil, and they finished 14th, so that's really impressive work from Watford.
Well, when I heard he scored 5 goals for Watford, I the first thing I thought, well, they were bound to have gone down again, you know, because they're the team that come up and go straight back down, then come up again, straight back down. But they finished 14th, which is brilliant for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they had,
it is.
They had 2 years in the Premier League, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to say about Jesus is his career will go downhill now once he's joined them lot down.
Of course it
will. He's finished, He's done.
I mean, that's it. He's done now. I mean, Brazil won't pick him ever again.
He's going to be like Jack Wilshere, retired by 30.
That's it. Yeah, he will be. Yeah. You know, he'll probably join Arteta on the comedy club tour. You know, as a comedy like Little and Large or somebody like that. You know. What makes me laugh?
The good thing about Wilshere is married to a Cypriot girl.
Yeah. What makes me laugh? You watch all this Arsenal TV on YouTube, and they're going to win the league. They're going to do this and do that. I mean, there must have been taking some funny pills down at the Emirates. I mean, to even think that. But I don't know. Jay
Got it
says,
off Maradona. Just saying.
yeah, Maradona was a good player. He played for Tottenham. Remember that, Mark? He did play for Tottenham.
He did. He donned our shirt.
Yeah,
pretty sure that was only a friendly.
It was a friendly.
Yeah, and he did score. Did score with his hand, and I'll get VAR on for you for that one, Mark.
I thought it was with his head, Dermot.
That was it, but just a little bit of his head, the hair in his top there, just nicked it though. Yeah. To be honest with you, Mark, I know we're going back to it, but I'm still will say it and say it again. Shilton should have just battered them out of there.
Yeah.
Should have.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we carry on about our newest signing instead of getting sidetracked?
Yeah, sure. So, so next, he signed for Everton. So this is where he really established himself as a top player in the league, because prior to that point, he only had one season in the Premiership for Watford. Obviously quite impressive, but maybe he's just a one-season wonder. And here in Everton, he proved otherwise. So Everton also made a huge gamble, signing him for £50 million. And we know Everton lately have made a lot of stupid signings on inflated transfer fees and inflated contracts, which has led them to being nearly relegated. But you would say that this signing was quite good for them, even based on the fee. I think we would all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, as an Everton fan at the time, you might be thinking, this kid has only scored 5 goals in the Premier League one season. Why are we signing this 20-year-old for a fee of £50 million, which is quite a lot of money?
Yeah.
And in his first game, he scored 2 goals on debut. He likes scoring. He likes scoring on debut. It seems. Yeah. Well, he is banned for our first game of the season.
Yeah. If he does it for us, that's the way at Chelsea.
Jimmy Greaves was the only player to ever score with every club on his debut.
Do you know what, Ellie? I was just about to say that. You took the words right out of my
there
mouth.
You go.
I was just about to say that.
Sorry, Dermot.
No, I thought
I stole your thunder.
No, we leave it to the I tell you, I can't wait to go and see Thor: Love and Thunder. Actually, I'm looking forward to go and seeing that.
Oh yeah.
So, Izan, he's gone to Everton.
Mm-hmm.
They've spent a lot of money on him. It says that Michael Silva employed him as a striker. Where do you see his best position for us being? As a winger or as a striker?
Personally, I think that he plays on the wing the best. I think his skill set is more suited. His pace, his stamina, his pressing, and his dribbling has definitely more use as a left winger. But he has shown himself to be capable of playing very capable of playing as a striker. The reason Marco Silva actually employed him as a striker was because Everton's form in front of goal was really poor in 2017-18 season, I believe. Let me just check. Yes, 2018-2019 season. Their form was really poor in terms of scoring goals at the start of the season. But in fact, after Richarlison was moved to striker, Everton started performing better and finished 8th that season in the league. Which is not a bad finish for them at all, especially considering what happened in the following seasons. Yeah. And we can see here, he scored 13 goals in his first season and finished as his club's top scorer as well. So it seems that no matter where he goes, this guy will perform. No matter what the situation, you can toss him in any position, in any situation, and he will dig himself in and perform. And that's something that he's been known for ever since a child. I mean, we saw him basically being in poverty. He could barely afford a bus ticket, and he never gave up, and it's brought him to where he is. His determination and attitude to succeed has brought him to our club, eventually Tottenham. But what are your guys' thoughts so far?
Yeah.
Amir, I'll let you go first, sir.
So I think what Ishan just said about the, spending all his money on the bus ticket and putting himself up, this is what has changed. Not just that, but also the interview that he did with the club. I could see the hunger in his eyes and the passion for football and for success and for the way he spoke about Champions League. That's exactly the type of player that I want at my club. And before that, I guess I was a bit put off because I'm a bit old school with this, but I don't like the theatrics, the rolling around on the floor too much, that kind of thing. And I just got it in my head that he was that kind of player, but I've got him completely wrong. I've got the guy completely wrong. And I can't wait. I've got a ticket to the preseason match over here. So I'll be going up and hopefully I'll be able to get a glimpse at this new signing and hopefully he can really push on this season.
Is that when we play Roma, Amir?
Yeah. That's the Roma match. Yeah.
Oh, you're so lucky. You're gonna have to do a match podcast for the channel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to help out and do something for sure. Yeah, I'll be heading up there with my partner. The last time we were at a match must have been when we weren't even in the new stadium yet. We went to, I think it was Spurs Fulham at Wembley on around New Year's. So it's been a long time since we've been to a match together. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I am so jealous. Yeah. I'm really jealous. I really am. Mark, I mean, Izan's done a fantastic job with all of this stats and everything. Again, I mean, this lad is a genius.
Yeah.
He is Jack's carry on. I mean, Jack is like Obi-Wan, and this is like the young Obi-Wan coming true. Learning the ways of the Force. What do you think? I mean, for what Izan's told you, are you excited as well with Richarlison coming to the club?
I never knew none of this. I never knew any of this. And to be honest, as Amir said, that interview he did for the club, you could see the hunger in his eyes. Because I'm pretty sure in the interview, he said in his first Champions League game, he will get emotional because he said he's always dreamt of doing it. And that's the sort of people you want. You want them with the hunger,
Exactly.
And I don't think he cares that we've got the three up front. He's there to compete.
Yeah.
He's not just going to take his money and think, oh, well, I'll sit on the bench, get splinters up my backside, play for 10 minutes and I'll still get me money. No, he wants to play. And that's what we need. We've been crying out for someone like this.
Yeah. Ellie, yourself, I mean, how excited are you?
Do you know what? I'm so excited because I love a player who's got a purpose, someone who's going to step on that pitch and give it 100% for us. He comes from humble beginnings. He wants to prove a point as well, because when you think about it, he's signed by Watford, then he goes to Everton and he plays it out of his skin for them. And now he's got his big money move to Spurs, a club filled with tradition, filled with history, and now he's coming to play in the Champions League. And I can imagine him putting his shirt on, going to Brazil, right? Go before the Champions League match, obviously, going where Jesus is and playing the Champions League music and just standing there playing the music. Because that guy, he's one in a million, this player. He's got a skill set that's fabulous. He works like a dog, which I love in a player. And I just hope he hits the ground running and that he makes his mark at Spurs. I'm so excited.
And we just got a comment here from Mr. Edwardson. Good evening, sir. It says, at Tottenham Gold High, thumbs up and a smiley face and coys. Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us. Amir, you've got to jump off in a few minutes, haven't you, sir?
I do indeed. Yeah, I got an early start tomorrow, and it's a couple of hours later. I'm not on Canadian time like Ishan, seeing that sun coming through the window.
So do you want to plug your channel? Plug your channel there. We'll take you off and we'll give you. We'll do that. Do you want to plug your channel, Amir, and where people can find you? And they can find you here. Amir is very kindly joining Tottenham Gold. The same with the group that's here now. There's myself, Ellie, Izan, Mark, and Amir. This is your Tottenham Gold.
Great team.
For the season coming up, for the Champions League games, for the league games coming up. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up. But Amir, where can people find you, sir? I mean, you do a brilliant channel anyway, so.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that, Dermot. So you can find me on Open Peace Podcast. Apart from talking about football, I love promoting peace. I live over here in the Middle East, in Israel, and we have a team we're full of Israelis and Palestinians together. And we just talk about all different kinds of issues, how we can promote peace, how we can promote dialogue, interfaith dialogue, promoting and people reconciling and getting over the conflict. It's been over 100 years now raging, None of us chose to be born into this conflict. So this is my little bit that I can do, in my spare time. When I'm not busy at work or anything, I can arrange podcasts, and hopefully we'll be getting Dermot on to talk a little bit about what we can learn from the Anglo-Irish conflict that also raged for many years, and there was also
800 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And still going.
In some ways, yeah. But I would love to be at the stage that we're at over with an agreement that over here we're still going through battles and wars, and it's just endless over here. In my lifetime, it's just the amount of things that I've seen, and a lot of my friends, family, and everyone. It's not the right way to live. And of course, we've got Russia and Ukraine going on at the moment, which is also just so sad, so just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, Amir, for me personally, and everyone here on Tottenham Gold and everyone watching, we admire you so much for what you do and what your channel stands for.
Honestly, it means the world. It does mean the world to me.
And if everybody people, was like as you say, like us in Ireland, I mean, it isn't perfect, but we've had some sort of a peace that we've gone through the last 30 years.
Yeah.
If we can get that with the Israelis and Palestinians, it'll be a far nicer world and stop this madness in Ukraine too. I mean,
definitely.
We only get one life, so we need to all get on. But I take my hat off to yourself. Well done.
100%. And honestly, thank you for all the support. And honestly, it warms my heart every time from the start. And I just want you to know, it's not just me doing this kind of thing. There's so many other Israelis and Palestinians that are involved in peace work, in activism, in charity, in so many amazing things. It's just you'll never hear about it in the papers or on the news, because it's not interesting to people. Oh, look, people getting along and cleaning up waste. Oh, that's not interesting. Oh, people helping each other out with charity. That's not interesting. But there was an attack over here about crazy person that sells, and unfortunately, it's a real shame. And I'd like to invite anyone that wants to understand a little bit more about what's going on over here to come over and see for themselves, and see that the misconceptions about how people live and things that go on, it's not what you see on the news daily. It's just not.
Well, your link is there, Amir. We've put the link in the chat for everyone. Please go over to Amir's channel, press a like, press a subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you'll be seeing a lot more from Amir on here during the season, getting your thoughts on Tottenham and how the season's going. And we look forward to when we see your little when you do your little match report for us from the game, when you go watch us play Roma.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that.
Gonna get the inside info.
Yeah, it's nearly 11 o'clock, so we're going to let you go, man, to get some sleep because I know you've been busy working today. But Amir, thank you once again for joining us. And we've enjoyed your company, sir, as always.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure meeting you. I've been on before with Mark and Ellie, but Izhan, pleasure meeting you, mate. And
you
honestly,
too.
Loving the breakdowns, looking forward to many more. So all the best, and thank you for everyone for joining.
Garamogga, and thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Amir.
Bye now.
Big
bye.
Cheers.
Bye. What a gentleman. Absolutely what a gentleman.
Absolutely.
Right. We'll let Izan get back to his breakdown of Richarlison. He just private chatted that he needed to go, so I just needed to, give him a proper send off, which he deserves. So go on there, Izan. You carry on there, sir.
All right. In his second season for Everton, he once again scored 13 goals and was the club's top goal scorer in the Premier League and across all competitions as well, I believe. After, I believe Everton finished 12th in his second season. Yes, they finished 12th in his second season. And then in his third season with Everton, that's when Carlo Ancelotti was appointed manager. Everton finished 10th under Ancelotti and were competing for the European places until a lot of injuries hit, particularly Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Richarlison was also injured as well that season, so he scored 7 goals and 3 assists as a winger. Obviously, the numbers are down, but he was playing as a striker more in his first 2 seasons, and in his third season under Ancelotti, he was played primarily as a winger. Dominic Calvert-Lewin really broke out that season, and he was also injured, so that's sort of why the numbers are a bit low. But look, someone manager like Ancelotti clearly rated him and really liked him as a player, so that says a lot. And Everton did finish. They finished 10th. They were a bit unlucky, like I said, with injuries to a lot of key players derailing their season. But I do think he still played overall fairly well given the circumstances. And in his last season, this season with Everton, I think we all, it's sort of fresh in our minds where Ancelotti left, and the problems Everton had in terms of recruitment, a lot of players on inflated contracts. It finally came, and they were nearly relegated. Dominic Calvert-Lewin nearly basically injured this entire season, and it was Richarlison who scored 10 goals, 5 assists, the most assists he's ever had for Everton, and he basically dragged that team, put them on his back, saved them from relegation himself.
Yeah.
Well, they were the favourites, weren't they, for a long time to go down?
Yeah.
Do you think Everton going to miss Richarlison next season?
Definitely. I don't know who they're going to bring in as a replacement. So they sold him to us for £50 million plus 10 million in potential add-ons. So, I would say that's a pretty fair deal, considering he only had a season or 2 on his contract. And the quality of the player, 50 million with 10 million in add-ons, good bit of business from Everton. But I think that they really have no one to replace him. No one really wants to join Everton at the moment of that quality. So they might have to do what they did when they brought in Richarlison and take a risky gamble on someone that could potentially be as good. So I do think Everton are going to miss him. I think their squad is very much weakened without him, and who knows what's going to happen next season with Frank Lampard as manager.
Go a bit careful with the financial stuff. because
they do.
You know, with
fair play.
Yeah, so they can't go out spending like, you know, the 60 million that we give them or the 50 million we give them. They can't just go out and spend all that. So it's like you said, they're gonna have to take a risk on somebody. 5-10 million player.
They really will do. Izan, fantastic again, man.
Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant again.
Just wanted to bring up some other stuff about Richarlison. As a big game player, I didn't have all the space to fit it in to this Everton slide that I had. I guess for Longley, I have a Longley player profile. I'll split up his Barcelona career into 2 slides as well, but for Everton, I just wanted to say that this guy is a big game player. So after he signed for Everton, he made his Brazil debut, and he really impressed. He scored on, I believe he did score on debut, or he scored in his second goal in his second game. So he scores in his first or second game for every single club or team he plays for. He scored in Brazil's Copa America win. He is a 2019 Copa America winner. I believe he scored in the final as well in Brazil's 3-1 win. He is a big game player. He is a winner. He has more trophies than majority of our team, and also
he's got one. So that's
it's more than most of our players.
It is more than most.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's also a gold medalist as well at the Summer Olympics.
Yes,
he won a gold medal for Brazil.
He scored a hat trick in his first game in the Olympics, and I also believe he was the top scorer. He scored 5 goals in the Olympics and was the top scorer in the Olympics. So and he was named and they beat Spain in the final.
So he knows how to turn up in the big matches.
Yeah, and another thing against Germany in the Olympics, he scored a hat trick against them.
Wow,
to win 4-2.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So this guy, he turns up for big games. And another thing I want to say, this is the last example, in Everton's 2-0 win over Liverpool last season under Ancelotti. It was their first 2-0 win against Liverpool, or it was their first win against Liverpool away from home since 1999, and he scored in that game as well. I believe he scored the first goal in that game.
Wow.
So this guy, he turns up for big games. I will tell you that much.
Yeah. He played really well in that match as well, Dermot.
We are so blessed to have Izan and his magical stats that he's like the young Podion coming on to take over the crown from Jack when Jack retires. We are so blessed to have you on here, Izan. We really are. You're spot on. We'll be wrapping it up soon anyway, because we're getting to around this point. We'll be wrapping up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-season starts Wednesday. We've got our first pre-season game on Wednesday, guys. Are we looking forward to it? Where we're going to watch it? I'll start with you, Mark. What are you going to be?
I should be at home.
Excited?
Yeah. It's against the. Is it a combined Korean league team?
Yeah, it is.
Right?
K-League.
I'm not sure what time it kicks off. Our time. I don't know. So I'll have to see when it's on to see if I can watch it, or I'll
Everyone,
be in bed.
please download the Spurs Play, because you can watch it live on Spurs Play. So download Spurs Play.
Yeah,
I believe we'll start at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. for you guys.
So 2 p.m.
For me, it says 5 a.m. Oh, I'll have to wake up early for that.
2 p.m. I'll probably
5 a.m. for me, but I guess 2 p.m. for you guys. Just 3 hours ahead.
Mark, do a sickie. Say you're not feeling well that day.
I'm not
for a friendly Dermot.
No. If it was the Arsenal game, then
do it for the Champions League final.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Tottenham play since May. We're now going into July. We need to see Spurs play.
Yeah.
We've got
Ellie,
the jitters.
are you excited now? The season start, the pre-season starting, and
Do
everything's
you know when there's no football on, we chat football, to keep us going, don't we? It's like our little fix in the night. So that we can keep our enthusiasm going. But there's nothing like watching a match, and when you're with people that you love as well, and people that you like, because we've met up in the community as well, which is lovely. And I'd love to meet you, Mark, and you, Izan, next season. It'd be fabulous at White Hart Lane at a Champions League match. That'd be brilliant.
I'm not sure. Champions League is very difficult for me to get home because I'll miss the last train. On a Saturday, definitely, because if I can just make one plug.
I understand.
I joined a group called South Dorset Spurs. Big shout out to them. Even though I'm in Somerset, and I had to grovel to get in there. And I said, look, I'm north of the border. Is it okay if I join? I am from Yeovil, and they're all based in Weymouth. And Weymouth and Yeovil rivals for the football. And I said, I had to put on there, look, I'm not a Yeovil fan.
Is that Simon as well, part of that? Simon and Matt?
I think so. There's a guy who does videos. His channel's on YouTube. He's recently done. No. He's a member of South Dorset Spurs.
Right.
Get his name. Get his name. If you search South Dorset Spurs, and he does like walks and that. And I contacted him, and he said, "Yeah, they'll let you join." And so hopefully, I can get tickets next year.
Yeah, you can come down.
Yeah, I might have to get an early train to Weymouth or Dorchester or something to get picked up, but they come up on a minibus.
Brilliant.
So hopefully, I should be able to get up. And if I get up, Ellie, if I can get up for a 3:00 game on a Saturday or something,
brilliant.
I'll meet you in the. It's not the Bell and Hare anymore, is it? It's not the Bell and Hare.
Number 8 bar.
Number 8 bar. I know it's the Bell and Hare.
That minibus will be rocking all the way down to White Hart Lane, won't it?
Well, I hope so.
It'll be rocking all the way back to Weymouth, I think.
Bit of scrumpy.
And
no, there's none of that.
I had this conversation with Mark the other day.
I
just
went
sideways. No, I don't want to go down that again.
No, I'm not saying it live on air. What it does to me.
It's how much are you looking forward to the new season starting the pre-season on Wednesday? And
I'm really looking forward to it. I really want to see our new signings. Because I think that our squad is really looking strong right now. Even if the transfer window were to close right now, I think that our squad is still really strong. I do think, obviously, there are some key positions that we do need players for, but the players that we've brought in such a short amount of time has been unheard of, and this is honestly just brilliant business. And we're not really overspending for players. We're making good signings, pragmatic signings, the players that we need with the right mentalities that we want at this club. So I just think there's no place to go but up, especially with a manager like Conte and a director of football as brilliant as the Don Paratici is. So I just think we have a lot to look forward to. And I like the last thing I just want to say quickly is it's really good to see all the fans optimistic, because I really have missed this feeling. There's a lot of negativity this season, but I think that a lot of the fans can be happy and optimistic going into the next season.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I mean, I've been excited for years. Well, listen, thank you for everyone who's joined us this evening. We really have done I've enjoyed this show. I've enjoyed the banter. I've enjoyed Izan, you've done brilliantly again. You've brought your A game. Next week, we're doing another versus special. We're doing George Best versus Paul Gascoigne. So I will be putting a poll up on the Tottenham Gold Twitter page. We're only 4 away from 1,000 followers on there. So come on, let's get over to 1,000 on that on our Twitter page, and let's get up to 650 before the show next week. Quickly, guys, George Best or Paul Gascoigne? I'll start with you, Ellie.
Oh, I would say Paul Gascoigne, because first of all, he played for us.
Yeah.
Secondly, he was a fantastic footballer, and he played like he was like a little boy with a football. He kept that passion going. I love footballers like that. You just go on that pitch and they love playing football. It oozed out of him, didn't it? Oozed out of him.
Yeah.
Loved him.
Marky, George Best or Paul Gascoigne?
Now, unfortunately for you, Dermot, seeing as this is a Tottenham channel, I think you're on a bit of a loser here, because it's not George Best is not winning this one.
No, I've had this argument before on here with somebody, and I'm sticking to my guns. I think George Best. I'm being the popular person on this channel now.
Yeah, this is a Tottenham channel though, so you'll have to get Brian Daigle on because he'll.
Yeah,
because that's his favourite player.
You could change it from. I just trying to do it differently because George Best for me was one of the geniuses of football.
And you got to remember as well. You got to remember both of them have suffered with very similar things. You know, with the alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I put them two together, because they've had a similar career trajectory. Both brilliant footballers, both won stuff early in their careers. And people around them hasn't helped them. Yeah, they're geniuses as well with people where they should be helping them. Where luckily George Best had Matt Busby trying to guide him. Yeah, Paul Gascoigne, bless him, didn't have anybody.
He had Jimmy Five Bellies, didn't he? Lead him astray.
Yeah, and he was left to the mercies of the press, which was awful then after Italian 90. He was left to the people in Italy. And I for me, because I'm Irish and George Best is an All-Ireland player as well, I think George Best for me is probably one of the best players ever to come out of Northern Ireland. I know what you're saying. Paul Gascoigne, he'll always have a place in my heart, because I think Paul Gascoigne for me is probably a generational genius at Spurs.
Yeah.
He was probably the only player for me to take on the mantle from Glenn Hoddle as the King of White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
But I just think for me, Best just had that more of ability than Gaza. Gaza had the skill and he had that, but I think George Best had that bit more. But
he was more like Jimmy Greaves, wasn't he, Georgie Best?
Yeah.
Similar.
And you got to remember, Gaza was playing in a pretty crap Tottenham team.
He was.
We weren't that brilliant.
He dragged us to that cup final.
Yeah, we weren't that brilliant.
Is that for you, Paul Gascoigne or George Best?
As a Spurs fan, I want to say Gascoigne, but I think it has to be George Best. I think he had a more illustrious career. He's a Ballon d'Or winner as well.
Was he?
Yes, he is. George Best did win the Ballon d'Or. I believe in 1977.
Yeah, it was called European Footballer of the Year back in them days.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Keegan's the same as well. Kevin Keegan won one of them as well.
1968. He was finished third in 1971, but he won the Ballon d'Or in 1968. So, I think it is going to have to be George Best. Although both, I did find it funny, I did find it interesting that both players suffered a lot off the field. Their alcoholism did eventually get the better of them, more so for George Best. That really ruined his life. I believe he went to jail because he tried stealing money.
He technically went to jail because he hit a copper, which I don't condone. You shouldn't hit a Gardaí or a police officer, but sometimes you have to.
I thought it was only Serge Aurier that done that.
No, Georgie
I'm
Best.
so
I'm not.
sorry,
God
I
bless him.
copper on the nose, wasn't it?
But
No,
you are
I
right. He
believe
did go to
Oh.
prison, isn't he?
I think he did go to jail also. Yes, he stole money from the handbag of a woman he did not know in order to fund a drinking session. So yeah, eventually it did get the better of him, and on his deathbed he said that was his greatest ever regret, abusing alcohol throughout his life.
Yeah, and you got to remember, the man got a liver transplant as well, didn't he?
Yes, he
when
did.
he was on Sky.
Yeah. It was my bag as well.
Was it your bag as well? Was it Ellie? Right, okay.
You're pretty old then, Ellie.
Ellie's hanging around with George
No,
Best.
I'm pretty old. Yeah, I am. Yeah. People don't realise.
Ellie was in the nightclub with George Best and Pele and Maradona. She was
I mean, looks-wise, you seem around my age, Ellie. 20 or so. I mean, just based off the looks.
Tottenham says here, unfair question. Gaza broke his leg at the young age. Best didn't.
Well, he never broke his leg, did he? He certainly done his knee in.
He done his cruciate knee injury.
He done his cruciate ligament, which was, I don't mean to be harsh on Gaza, but it was his own fault.
Well, he should have been sent off. In all fairness, he should have been sent off.
He should have been sent off after the first tackle. But for me, George Best was, I think he had a shorter career to Paul Gascoigne. George Best had a 10-year career. Paul Gascoigne went on a bit further.
Yeah.
But for me, Best used the talent when he was at his prime better. Yeah. I think Paul Gascoigne was fabulous at Newcastle. He was brilliant for us. Yeah. He was never the same player after his cruciate ligament.
No.
It does you in.
No, what's that, Ellie? Sorry?
It does you in, because I had a lot of injuries as a footballer, and it's hard. It really is hard to come back and hit the heights that you used to after a really bad one. So I understand. I never done my cruciate knee, but I had my leg broken 3 times.
Yeah.
So yeah. I've got the scars for it. Yeah. But the thing is, with Gaza, I like him because he did come back and he fought his way, and that must have been tough to come back from that injury. You know, and he still played some really great stuff.
He did. I mean, Euro 96, I think, for you, Mark, probably is the highlight. That goal against Scotland.
Yeah.
You know,
was a great goal that was.
Was it 96 where he virtually got his toe on? It was the golden goal rule back then. It was an extra time.
Yeah, against Germany.
Crossed it in, and he was like millimeters from toeing it in against Germany.
Close.
It would have been the golden goal.
Oh.
Yeah, we talked some final. But as usual, we lost on penalties.
Yay!
So we won't talk about
it. Big up, talk on ball. Big love. He says, hope you're all your lovely people.
Big up, Colin.
Big up. And then we've got Wilton McDonald as well, saying he's also saying, let me get it up. He says, Watford have always supplied us with great players. Pat Jennings, Dennis Bond, to name a 2. Correct. Watford have always been a great, plays for us and plays that from there. Big up, Wilton. It's lovely to see you in the chat. I may change that greatest versus. I may just do Paul Gascoigne. I may leave him out of it. Now, if anyone in the panel can come up with the best of, or follow us on Twitter, just let us know who would you like us to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll come up. We'll do something. I see where Super Tottenham's coming from. I picked Best and Gascoigne because I thought their careers were very similar in what they've gone through. So maybe that was a bit unfair, but we'll think of something. But we will come up with a banger next week. No one knows.
What about Hoddle or Letitia? That would be a good one.
Yeah. Slightly different eras, but very similar players.
Or Lineker and Archibald. Both played for Barcelona.
Yes.
Do you know?
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? I think we'll go for that one. I think we'll do your one, Ellie. We'll do Hoddle and Letitia next Sunday.
Yeah.
The verses. I know who I'm going to be picking. I know Ellie's going to be picking. Mark, I think Mark's going to be floating.
Hang on a minute. I told you this. I've told
He's
you
not
this
a
a million
floater.
times. When I was about 8 or 9, I was at White Lane. I handed the ball to him, so I got lost in the crowd.
Well
and I handed
done.
the ball to Glenn Hoddle.
Wow.
No. It was a bonus. I went to the Lost Children's bit at the old White Hart Lane, and they took me inside the fences, and I sat on the St John's ambulance bench right by the corner flag. I loved it. I could see that I sat inside the fences. Tottenham had a corner in the second half, and the ball come rolling over. I remember it come rolling over and it landed at my feet. I bent down to pick it up, sort of lifted my head up, and Glenn Hoddle was stood in front of me. It was like a vision. It was like a vision.
Did it have the sun shining on top of them?
It was
just light
everywhere. There was
you saw Jesus. It was Jesus, the second coming of Jesus.
Yeah. What a genius
Come with
player.
me, son. Come with me to the corner flag.
Yeah, well, I was sat
Genius.
there. At the end of the game, my dad come and got me, and we went home.
Well, we'll come up with something, or we'll do Tottenham's best team. So we'll come up with something next week. I want to do something different because on the 5th of August, we are doing a pre-season show. There's going to be me, hopefully Ellie, Mark, hopefully Izan, Amir. We also having on. I am so pleased to announce this. I hope he still can come on. Jack and David from the Irish Hotspur will be joining us as well to get their thoughts on before the start of the season. It's also the same night them lot down the road are playing, so let's hope they lose while we're on and we can.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
That's right. I'm on holiday.
Oh well, we're going to miss you, Mark.
Yes, okay.
We will miss you.
I'll
be here.
Yeah, you raise a glass for us. Yeah, we will miss you, Mark. Send us a postcard. Where are you going?
I was only fishing.
And we'll catch a fish for us.
Yeah,
well, Ellie will be here anyway. At least Ellie will
be here.
And Izan here. You know, they won't let us down. You know, you go and do your fishing. That's grand.
Yes.
Well, listen, thank you all for coming in. Izan, where can people find you, sir? Are you on Twitter, Instagram? Where can people find you apart from here?
I am on Instagram. I have a couple posts of myself. If you want to see, you can message me to talk about football or anything. I always enjoy having discussion. You can obviously find me here on Tottenham Gold. Exciting stuff. I do have a long lay player profile ready where we go through his career. I can probably do one on Basuma. I think that one would be interesting as well. Seeing his career, how it from Mali, I believe, to Brighton to Tottenham, it'd be really interesting to see. And Perisic, I think that would also be really interesting.
So we're going for about 4 hours though. Perisic has been everywhere.
Yes, it'll be fun to do. So yeah, I think there's a lot to learn, I guess, and you can really put into context some of the players' journeys and whatnot. So I think we can do that as well. And I was also thinking of doing, sort of a tactics sort of show and see what our new signings bring. Potential like formations, maybe changes in the style of play and whatnot. So I think it's going to be really exciting stuff.
Yeah,
we really have got some good shows coming up. I am so excited. Big up Izan. He really is. He really is this channel's Jack Kanicki. He really is. We're so pleased to have you.
Jack Kanicki on speed.
The queen of Tottenham Hotspur. Where, apart from here, where else can people find you?
Are you on
Twitter, Instagram?
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. And you can also find me on the Irish Hotspur a lot. I'm going to be on the Free Spurs Boys as well, doing some shows for them. Mm-hmm. So, just check me out and I'll talk to anybody about Spurs. That's my favourite subject.
And next season, Ellie, you're going to be our ladies' team correspondent for this channel, aren't you, in next season?
Yes, I am.
Shows on them.
I'm really looking forward to that, and giving you some good previews and some good post-match ones as well, which will be excellent. I'm looking forward to that. I go to every single game.
What the late? No, do you?
Yeah,
very good.
I normally go, like last season. I went to 13 away games. Sorry, and I went to every single home game, every single one.
Who's the other girl that's got a YouTube channel, and she does a lot for the what's her name?
There's a girl called Jodie, and there's a girl called Kirst.
No.
Kirst. There's a girl called Jodie who's quite rife, and there's Abby Summers.
No. What's her name? She's got a scarf with loads of badges on it. She's at the home.
Oh,
games.
I know who you mean, but I don't know her name. I know who you mean. She goes to Spurs ladies games as well.
Yes.
Yeah. She's got curly, bushy hair, hasn't she?
Yeah.
I've seen her at matches as well.
Yeah. She's into her horse riding in that because she does like YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a nice girl, actually. Very nice girl. I see her with her dad quite often at the matches. Yeah.
Ellie, could you please answer Sean this? Ellie says, Ellie, your internet is excellent everywhere, but my channel.
I know. I don't know what it is. It's like I'm cursed when I go on Sean's show.
Yes. Sean,
I don't know.
Very quickly, Sean, if you're still watching, so send us the link to your channel, and I'll put that in my chat as well, so people can subscribe to your channel as well, Sean, if you're still watching, sir. And Marky, where can people find you, sir? I don't think you've got an Instagram page. I actually really don't think you're on Twitter. But where can people find you?
I'm on all of it.
He is. He's kind.
They can normally find me in the pub. but no, I'm on.
Apart from the pub.
Yeah, but that was last night. We got
all the local private shop around the corner that you've been telling me about.
No, definitely not. No, definitely not. I got Facebook.
Yeah, we all believe you.
I got Facebook. I got Instagram. I'm on Twitter, and that's about it, really. And on here.
Well, we will all get them up on the channel next week. Everyone's Instagram and Twitter page, so you can follow us from the channel. And honestly, I am so blessed to have you three. I enjoy doing these shows. They're such a giggle.
Yeah.
You've got Mark talking about his favourite crew who's always down the pub. He'd probably do a show from the pub now and Mark one Sunday or Saturday. We're doing the Spurs watch along, and there's Mark from the pub. I'll have another point.
Yeah.
But we will be back next Sunday, getting all the latest news from Spurs' pre-season games. We'll talk about that. And I think we are going to do the long lay player profile with this. It's got a lot of work into these, so we'll do that next week. And we'll just be talking about bits and pieces. Spurs. Ellie's gone.
It's her internet. It's her internet.
Yeah, that's the internet.
You see, Sean said about her internet being excellent, then suddenly she's gone.
Yeah, it's all Sean's fault.
Yeah,
big up, Ellie, and big up Shawnee as well. Please get your link in the chat here, sir, and I can get it up for you so people can subscribe to your brilliant channel. We'll be back next Sunday at 8:30 every Sunday, and then when this season comes in, we'll be doing player pre-match shows, and then we're doing watch-alongs to every match next season. So thank you all for joining us this evening. Hope you have a great week, and we will leave you with where is it now? We're going to sign that now. Please like and subscribe to this channel. If you want to become a Patreon member, you can do. The link is there. And next week we'll have everyone's Instagram page and everything for you to follow them. And guys, anything else you want to say before we go?
No. Thank you all for watching.
Just
like
come on,
and subscribe
Spurs.
and all that stuff.
Yeah. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.